There are not many things that can truly bring happiness in this world, but the desperation of Ubisoft is definitely one of those things. Ubisoft is a cornered animal at this point. They don't know what to do, they don't know how to move forward. Every single move they make is a mistake. They're more than 1 billion still in debt at this point after the cash injection of Tencent. The situation is not looking good. And now we have potentially the greatest rumor of Ubisoft completely giving up, collapsing, and potentially maybe even slightly abandoning the modern audience. And that is, of course, because of Assassin's Creed Hexe, the newest rumor. Now, if you don't know what Assassin's Creed Hexe was, it was. How should I better describe it? Oh, yeah. The quintessential feminism propaganda game. And the word game doesn't do a lot of lifting here. It was about the witch trial period, where you're pretty much a female witch trying to fight the patriarchy or something like that. It was more of a political statement than game ever. And now we have the greatest rumor of them all. I mean, look at this. Look at this. They added magic. Yes, you could have, by the way, used magic in this game because scary, witchy things. And if you don't know, uh, casting magic as a woman in modern day gaming is pretty much the same level of red flag as a lot of purple hues in any game. And now we have this, one of the most devastating and hilarious rumors that we have had in a long time about the situation at Ubisoft. Leak, Assassin's Creed Hexe, new details. Magic has reportedly been removed. Obviously, people were very upset, the Assassin's Creed fans, especially about the fact that there's actual magic in the Assassin's Creed game, let alone in this feminist propaganda style. A large-scale map with forests, village, towns, rivers, and woodland outposts. Fear system from Jack the Ripper reportedly returns, causing NPCs to panic, misfire, or flee. A darker visual said to be a major update over Shadows. Yes, Shadows is a clown fiesta of, well, everything, honestly. Revamped audio makes it harder to detect enemies through walls. NPCs are more suspicious of outsiders like the protagonist Anika. And yes, you're still gonna be playing the witch in the witch trials. Yay. I'm sure all of her allies are not gonna magically be oppressed black people. I'm sure that's not gonna happen. Making stealth more challenging. Price $70, $90 deluxe, and collector sap edition $120, boys. Platforms PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC. One interesting thing, by the way, and the release date is June 2027, a placeholder. It's not, that means it's not coming out now. But this is definitely no longer just a rumor that this game is going to be. It is 100% pretty much confirmed that this Assassin's Creed Hexe is happening some way or another, that's going to be the next big mainline entry. And it's probably going to be very soon, honestly. Maybe a year, 2, 3 years, or something like that. Because Ubisoft have tried now to cut back from useless projects and things like that, in the same way that PlayStation has arguably done that. It's very interesting because these changes are very, very meaningful. Because we had Assassin's Creed Shadows, which, by the way, people are saying now has been officially touted by Ubisoft as a failure and by games journalists, which is very strange if you ask me, because this thing has seemingly sold like 5 or 6 million copies, and the budget by the CEO of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot, was said to only be 116 million. If Ubisoft, by the way, this is lies, obviously, because there is no downside to lying. No one's gonna sue him. There's nothing to be sued. He can lie about this. And the funny part is, dude, if you believe that, like, come on. If Assassin's Creed Shadows, which probably is the most expensive game Ubisoft has ever literally made, was made for 100 million, there is no world where Ubisoft can actually be in debt. And I'm serious because I actually looked at all of the numbers. I wanted to do a different video because of the 2 million sales for Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which is slightly suspicious. But I did go over all of their releases and stuff, and it actually does check out that these numbers should be legit, which is very interesting on one hand. In any case, Assassin's Creed Shadows 100 million disaster somehow, even though it sold 5 million copies, which would make it a complete massive victory. But let's not think about that, okay? Then we have Assassin's Creed Shadows. And this is the reason why I'm bringing these two games up is not because they're the two newest releases, but because Assassin's Creed Shadows is absolute useless woke mess of garbage, aka what Hexe was before this announcement right here of the rumors. An Assassin's Creed Black Flag has sold 2 million copies pretty much on its first day, and now it granted it's losing players relatively fast, I would like to say. Pretty much 50% drop, well, not 50, 30, 40, 50-ish percent drop in the, not even a week has passed. But still, Assassin's Creed Shadows, even though they added a ton of microtransactions that people hate, they censored pretty much honestly everything they could. People still love Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. No matter the censoring, no matter the what, it's still the best Assassin's Creed game, probably in the past decade and a half at least at this point. And it's showing. People actually like this one. And that is the reason why they're gonna change it. Assassin's Creed Shadows was everything modern, aka the previous rumors that we heard about Hexe. And after the success of this, I would not be surprised that Ubisoft tries to do a more grounded approach, because this is the only Ubisoft game that has been a success in the past 5 years. Okay, there have been others, but you get the point. And Assassin's Creed Black Flag most likely has made money. Even though the 2 million sales copies sold announcement is a little bit suspicious, because this was done at the July 10th, and now is July 15th, so almost a week has passed. So it sold 2 million copies first day, and yet we have, in 5 days, almost a week, no tales about 3 million sales or 4 million sales? That's a bit interesting. Now, granted, I do think it already has surpassed 3 million sales. I think that Ubisoft is just waiting to see if they can score 4 million sales in the first week. That's, I think, what's happening. We're gonna get some kind of 007 tier announcement, 3.5 million sales in the first week, or something like that soon. Or maybe the blatant 4 million sales. And after that, I think the sales are gonna collapse. Because all the people who wanted nostalgia got their nostalgia. People who were disappointed in Shadows and are new to the IP, I don't think they're gonna be playing Resynced, even though its reputation is way massively better, obviously. And fun fact, the sales are being currently carried for Assassin's Creed by PlayStation in a massive way, which is wild, insane, and honestly, I did not expect this. I'd already talked about this previously, but yeah, I did not expect initially 2 million sales. I expected them to have like 700k-ish sales from Steam, and seemingly that was actually pretty on point, because more than 50% of sales are supposed to be on PlayStation at this point, which is, again, crazy. Absolutely crazy. And Assassin's Creed is a remake, which means this thing probably wasn't that expensive to make. So even if they just would have those 2 million sales, it probably would be enough for a profit. Probably. Now, the reason I'm saying probably is because you think something like this is like 50 million or something, considering the Assassin's Creed Shadows lie was literally that, oh, this was 100 million. Assassin's Creed Shadows is from 400 to 700 million. Mark my words! I've been saying this all this time. Also, I think a bunch of places got the rumor from me that it's 400 million initially. They couldn't corroborate it, so they reverted to 100 like Gilmo said. But that's a different story. That's just a funny thing. Because Google actually now uses channels like me and others as sources for news when you ask it to, which is hilarious. But anyway, there is a chance that Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced was 50 million. There's a chance it was 20. If Ubisoft was a normal company, I would say that this upgrade of graphics was probably in the range of, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 million maybe. But then I just want people to remind people that there's this neat thing called Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, and it's also by Ubisoft. And this game had 1.4K peak players 2 years ago on Steam. And this is a 2D side scroller Prince of Persia game. Do you know how much Ubisoft spent to develop this bad boy? Initially, when I heard about this, I thought, like, hey, this is not bad for the Prince of Persia. You know, wasn't a success, but hey, 10, 20 million to make a 2D side scroller? That's not honestly, it's 100 million. It was 100 million. This is official. There is no doubting this. Prince of Persia: Crown of the Lost was 100 million to develop a 2D fucking side scroller. So the idea that something like this was literally $2 million to make, and Assassin's Creed Shadows, this woke monstrosity of Garbanzo, was 116 somehow, is impossible, preposterous, in fact. And then you just kind of have to ask, how much do you honestly think Black Flag Resynced was to make? Was it maybe 150 million? Was it maybe 200 million? I don't know. Ubisoft doesn't know how to use money, so maybe this was 100 trillion to make. I don't know. It's really, really hard to say with Ubisoft because they're proven to be liars. And they don't know how to spend money because they somehow spent 100 million on this. Absolute monkey. Why did I say absolute monkey? Whatever. In any case, Assassin's Creed Hexe is also going to be in this city of Herbisch-Polish-Burgenschargen, Yeah, it's a medieval setting, obviously, because it's kind of the Salem witch trial kind of vibe and whatnot. And the person making Assassin's Creed Hexe is going to be this guy, Darby McDevitt, the narrative director and lead writer for Assassin's Creed Hexe. What has he worked on? Well, if we look at one of my new favorite websites, Moby Games, we can see that this guy has been from Ubisoft since when it was almost good to when it was complete garbage. So, writings-wise, I honestly don't know. Well, I do know. It sounds honestly not great. Because this guy is special thanks for Assassin's Creed Shadows, which means special thanks as a writer pretty much exclusively means that he like pitched ways to make the story better, and Assassin's Creed Shadows story is not better. Narrative director on this, The Road Ahead, A Quiet Place. Additional writing, Mirage. Narrative director, Valhalla. Added writing, Origins. I don't know, though, how good Mirage, Valhalla, or Origins was writing-wise. I haven't played it. I don't know anything about it, so that's for you boys to decide. But, you know, he has never been the main writer, it seems like, for anything. And if this is true, then, I mean, it's kind of questionable can this guy pull it off. He just looks like one of those new-aged woke guys who still tries to be hip and then hit on the, you know, freshly appointed 21-year-old intern. That's kind of what I'm getting here. I could be wrong, but, you know, you never know these things. In any case, Assassin's Creed Hexe, if these rumors are true, it's pretty massive because this would mean that Ubisoft's kind of forsaking woke, and Ubisoft is honestly one of the worst companies when it comes to wokeness and how it's represented through their games and company and everything. So if they do as much as literally just stitch fucking magic from their fucking feminist witch wannabe simulator garbage whatever bonanza, that is a massive thing. But it would make sense because, Assassin's Creed Black Flag worked and Shadows failed. Lamau. In any case, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.